Welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel, and today I'm going to have some fun by looking at one particular site which has been highly critical of me. In fact, I am a persona non grata at Math Stack Exchange. Well, that's just one of the sites. I'm not welcome, but there are many others. At any rate, I'd like to look at one of the questions that was asked and just go over some of the answers that were given. They're quite telling and very revealing. So let's begin. So a user called, I believe, Jack Welsh, that's his name over here, posted a question on the new calculus. I read through some of John Gabriel's The New Calculus last night. He does seem quite arrogant, but some of the things he says seems to make sense. Well, actually they all make sense, but be that as it may. For example, is his way of, he should have put a comma over here, but never mind, there are mistakes in the first sentence too. For example, is his way of taking derivatives based off, I think he meant based off parallel secant lines right? To me it seems like Rolle's theorem. Well, actually, Jake, it has nothing to do with Rolle's theorem, but anyway, is this guy correct with his new calculus, or can it be ignored? Now, what's kind of strange here is how Jake really doesn't trust thinking for himself. So he goes to the oracle at Math Stack Exchange, and we'll go over some of the answers. So first of all, the topic was very soon closed off by two administrators, some idiot called Gabriel Roman and Jack de Orizio, however you pronounce that. And the reason was the question appears to be off topic. Well, actually, I can't imagine any question that would be more on topic than this question and more valid. So, and the suggestion is that the question should be reworded to fit the rules, whatever they are, some mental masturbation by these wankers. And Jack was asked to re-edit the question. So just a very quick thing about Gabriel Ramon. He was at the time a student at Paris Tech, interested in statistics and machine learning. So we'll just disregard this poor idiot. The other guy's a slightly more advanced idiot. His name is Jack Dorizio, and he received a master's degree after studying at the University of Pisa. So you can read some of the comedy on his profile here. He kind of looks like Speedy Gonzales. Mind you, mentally it reminds me of Slowy Gonzales. But that be as it may, these were the two who closed off the question. So, Math Stack Exchange and I go back a long way. For example, I once tried to comment on Stack Exchange. So somebody had asked, what is a real number? And here was my answer. The short answer to your question is yes. In mathematics, the real number is defined as the limit of equivalent Cauchy sequences of rational numbers. And the following article is almost the exact mainstream view. And that article, by the way, is not an article by me, but rather by a mainstream academic in India. So, however, the limit is not always a rational number, in which case the mainstream idea is that it must be an irrational number. And, of course, this site got minus 12 votes because it was posted by this gentleman here, whose name is John Gabriel. That's me, a lot younger looking in that photograph. So another user got on here, some guy called Quinn Culfer, and says, why all the downvotes? Well, it's kind of strange that there are so many downvotes. And one of the answers is by another idiot on sci.math. It says, here you have your own definition of irrationality. Do you think some real constructions one give incommensurability? Now, this guy here is an idiot that I met on sci.math, not even worth talking about. Complete moron. So just goes to show you that, you know, I was immediately silenced. Another idiot here called Vishal Gupta edited this question. Okay, so at any rate, I was immediately rejected because I am the discoverer of the new calculus. So let's go back here again and look at some of the answers. Just to save others the trouble of Googling, well, this idiot here, Hans Ludmark, and apparently this guy doesn't say anything about him because naturally he's an idiot and he's not wanting to reveal that he's an idiot. Okay, the next one, same thing, cyclotomic field. And he has a comment down here that says, John Gabriel is a textbook case of delusional disorder, which are often referred to as cranks, but it is a serious mental illness. So, I mean, okay, this is welcome to his opinion. And he just doesn't have the ability to see the world clearly. He could say nothing about the topic, obviously, just ad hominem, so we can get rid of him too. Okay, the next idiot is some guy called Michael Hope, or whatever. Even more cranky. The new calculus is not worth just one Abel Prize. It is worth 10 Abel Prizes. I did say that. Guess what, you morons? It's true. The new calculus is worth 10 Abel Prizes. So, all right. Another one says, and this is also true, I am the first human since Euclid to produce the perfect derivation of number. It's also true. No refutations, just basically, opinions, assertions, inferences, and suggestions that are entirely wrong. And of course, this one here is interesting. Not sure why Mr. Gabriel wants all those Abel Prizes, as they're named after a man who helped lead us into all this academic ignorance and stupidity. Well, actually, Abel had a problem with mainstream idiots. And if we go to his particular profile, he says, Cauchy is mad and there is nothing that can be done about him. He didn't say that. We'll see who said it. Although right now, he is the only one who knows how mathematics should be done. That was Abel, the one after whom the prize is named. Just to let you know, Cauchy took Abel's proof that there are no equations higher than the quintic solvable by radicals and threw it in the trash can. So Cauchy obviously didn't take a good look at it. And he had no idea that Abel had come up with something quite ingenious. And in fact, Abel himself was dismissed as a non-mathematician and ridiculed and rejected. And of course, Abel is nothing compared to my intelligence. Abel doesn't even come. No human being has been capable of realizing or discovering what I've discovered. I have discovered the first and only rigorous formulation of calculus in human history. Don't believe me, you morons. Go and study it, and you'll find out. A lot of these academics here are just jealous because they were not able to realize it. In other words, they're complete and total idiots. And a lot of them hold PhDs in mainstream mathematics. So naturally, you're going to find a lot of envy and hurt anuses out there simply because they're not able to take credit for what I've discovered. Okay? I am called many things. I can tell you there is no limit to the number of websites out there. In fact, I've even been blacklisted, for example, on Wikipedia. If, for example, somebody types in this URL, the new calculus.weebly, let me just cancel this. This URL that you see here, which is my new calculus site, the comment will immediately be banned, dismissed, and that user will not be allowed to publish again on the Wikipedia Moronica. So again, I've been banned there. And then just to see something really funny here on LinkedIn, there was some guy here, Andrew Smith, also an Ivy Leaguer with 35 years, who didn't notice that Archimedes had been spelled correctly. And so I corrected him. I said, it doesn't matter how you spell it in English. The Greek is so much. And what's his response? Maybe not, but after 58 years and 2 Ivy League universities, during which I had plenty of philosophy and math, even a course in ancient Greek, I've never seen his name translated into English without the R. Well, he just didn't pay attention. There was an R there. So I corrected him, and what he said there was the rest of the comment was quite rude. He said, I would normally apologize, but I will not apologize to you. So I was finding that to be quite telling too. And the reason, I suppose, is that he thinks I'm arrogant, which if I were arrogant, I have every right to be. No one has been able to realize the greatest feat of human intellect, which is the first and only rigorous formulation of calculus. I hold that distinction. None of you morons or any human in the history of mankind has been able to do that. And sadly enough, there's nothing you can do about it, and I'm laughing at you. Well, that's all I have to say right now. I hope you've enjoyed this little stray from mathematics, but there are a lot out there who are cranks in the mainstream and who would love to see me gone for good. But don't believe anything you read about me on the internet. Go out, study it for yourself, and you'll realize that the cranks are those morons in the Church of Academia. I am the one who is not a crank, who is not delusional, who does not have mental diseases. And if you don't believe me, well, you need to find out by studying my work. And no one else can think for you. There is no safety in the irrational and whimsical thoughts of others. I am John Gabriel, and this is a New Calculus channel. Till next time, goodbye.